and arrange publication of all the resolutions. Mr. Thompson, by his own evidence, is a very rash man. I suspect he was pushed into taking up the pen in order to keep his mouth shut. Now, some voices among the Pennsylvania delegates, they probably pushed him to this. But you mustn't think of him as obnoxious, far from it. Mr. Thompson is a good man, pure heart, friendly to people of my complexion. In fact, he is the man who hired me.
Where are my notes?
Oh. Also, you know how men never seem to find anything.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. How are your studies at the Raspberry Street School progressing?
Vinny, truly.
Very good.
Did you forget something, Mr. Thompson?
Oh no, just going over my notes from today. I want to make sure everything is in order.
Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Henry!
That's Patrick Henry. You know, Patrick of this treason Henry.
Your reputation has preceded you to this Congress, sir, particularly your strong words in response to the Stamp Act.
Oh, the Stamp Act was an attempt by Parliament to force an unwarranted authority over us by taxing such things as newspapers, playing cards, marriage licenses. They were not protecting trade or regulating trade within the empire, but rather using these colonies to raise revenue.
I agree with you, sir, but there are those who took your response to be treasonous.
Well, Caesar had his Brutus, Charles I his Cromwell, and George III. George III made profit by their example. If this be treason, make the most of it.
It's strong responses like that and protests in Massachusetts and here in Philadelphia that led to the repeal of the Stamp Act.
I dare say you are right, but those stamps were replaced by taxes on lead, paint, glass, and tea.
Which were all repealed, save for the tax on tea.
Led our brothers up in the Sons of Boston, Sons of Liberty up in Boston to take matters into their own hands.
You know that as the Boston Tea Party, but we just called it the incident with the tea.
And now the Port of Boston has been shut down and the legislature of Massachusetts has been suspended in favor of the royal government.
It is a dangerous attempt to destroy the constitutional liberties and rights of all North America. That is why the House of Burgesses, meeting in exile, decided to call for a general congress of all the colonies.
Meeting in exile.
The Burgesses called for a day of fasting and humiliation and prayer in support of the people of Boston. And the royal governor of Virginia disbanded our legislature. So as you can see, an attack on one of the colonies is an attack on us all.
Which is why the Massachusetts Committee of Safety has recommended a meeting of delegates from all the colonies to convene here in Philadelphia this September.
And here we are. Representatives from 12 of England's North American colonies deliberating on such measures as shall be in our united interest.
Do you have aspirations to the president's chair, my friend?
Oh, no. Peyton Randolph is a senior member of the Virginia delegation. He was unanimously elected to the position. As for you, Mr. Thompson, for the position of secretary. Besides, would you want to try to moderate 50 of the most well-educated, important, powerful, and stubborn men in the colonies?
No, I suppose I don't. We do have many men who become quite warm in their debate. Take the argument over the delegation of votes, for example.
You know, that did get people's dander. It seems like such a straightforward problem. Obviously, the colony with a larger population and more property should have more votes.
On the other hand, we all are in this together. Certainly, if the actions of Britain become aggressive, the small colonies will suffer along with the large.
If we are to be representatives of the people, then we must have the power to vote for the people that we represent. Now, I grant you, we may all be in this together, but more people will be affected in Virginia than in Rhode Island.
Places like Rhode Island and Delaware are less able to resist the repercussions from the crown than Virginia or New York. Civilians in large colonies may face hardship and suffering, yes, but those in the smaller colonies face annihilation. Each colony must be given an equal vote.
Why should Virginia have its vote cut in half simply to appease Rhode Island? Besides, this is the first national Congress, and future Congresses will look to it to establish a precedent. It would be a shame to deny the larger colonies the representation they deserve forever.
Yet
precisely known.
There's never been a proper census on population or property, so the point is moot.
Very well. One colony, one vote. But this does not constitute a precedent. It may be revisited in the future when the population may be more accurately described.
Fortunately, the rest of the week went much more smoothly. At least until it came to the question of an opening prayer.
Oh, what do you expect? With a room full of Anglicans, Presbyterians, Anabaptists, Congregationalists, and Quakers, the last thing we'll have a consensus on is God.
I was surprised Samuel Adams nominated Jacob Duché of Christ Church.
I have heard it said that Mr. Adams is a very religious man, although he does not hold with the tenets of the Church of England. I think what Mr. Adams is trying to embody is the spirit of compromise that a Congress such as ours must embrace. Oh, he said something to that effect. What was it?
Oh, he said he was no bigot. He could hear a prayer from a gentleman of piety and virtue, who, at the same time, was a friend to his country. The Reverend's scripture reading that opened Wednesday session seems startlingly prophetic.
Psalm 35. Plead my cause, O Lord, with them that strive against me. Fight with them that fight against me.
I do fear it will come to fighting before the end.
It may indeed.
We have embarked on a road toward an uncertain future. I am convinced the only way to progress is together.
The distinctions between Virginians, Pennsylvanians, New Yorkers, and New Englanders are no more. I am not a Virginian, but an American.
Not the beginning, but definitely a beginning. Those steps that Mr. Thompson spoke of took place right here in Carpenter's home over the course of 6 weeks in the autumn of 1774.